Weeks ago, it looks like Manchester United could also be busy. They have players to sell and positions to fill. Yesterday, they drew 1-1 away at Fulham. And after the game, Gary Neville said the club must buy a midfielder before the transfer window closes.
There's a couple of things in the first half. I think that the goalkeeper still looking a little shaky or very shaky on those crosses from corners, which can't continue because that anxiety builds. I've said it before. And then in central midfield, I think United have to do a piece of business now, because I would have liked to have thought that Mainoo could step up and be that person, but it's quite clear that at this moment in time Ruben Amorim's not having him. I mean, he starts with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. He then puts Mason Mount back in there, and then he brings Ugarte on in front of him, which tells you he's almost like fourth choice, really. And that means that they are going to need to, I think, get something sorted, because it's going to be a problem. The two in there, really does get exposed when that front three are just a little bit more higher, and that back five sometimes get pushed back a bit. Those gaps, those acres of space seem to open up, and I thought United got cut through quite a few times in there in the second half, and I think Bruno Fernandes is part of that in there, and he's going to have to sort it out.
So last week, Gary Neville said that Manchester United need to sign a goalkeeper. Yesterday, he says they need to sign a midfielder. Mark, given the money spent already in this window, is it possible for United to go after a midfielder?
Manchester United have spent over £200 million so far in this summer, which is quite significant when Sir Jim Radcliffe spent most of last season trying to shave costs, make staff redundant, try and make the operation a lot more streamlined, because there was a lot of staff there, so they're trying to be creative and clever with what they do, but they have spent significantly in revitalising that front three, new faces at the top end of the pitch. But now, it's funny, Gary Neville saying last week, need to sign a goalkeeper. Now he's saying I need to sign a midfielder. It feels like they're the two areas of concern for Manchester United. Goalkeeper, a six, someone who can bring energy and legs to that United midfield, which is going to be key. They have to be conscious of PSR, Manchester United, despite being one of those sides that turn over significant sums of money. They still have to respect the rules, and there has been a lot of spending there. Outgoings are going to be key between now and Monday, depending on how much they can generate there. But you'd imagine they will still be in the market to sign players, but they're going to have to be creative financially. Maybe a loan with an obligation might be something they look at. But yeah, definitely two positions of concern for Ruben Amorim.
And Carlos Baleba feels like a slightly too expensive deal to do for Manchester United. He was taken off at half-time in Brighton's game against Everton yesterday, but Fabian Hurtzler said it was tactical, nothing to do with injury, nothing to do with any speculation around Manchester United. Kevin, another player who's emerged, Angelo Stiller from Stuttgart. He's a player of interest. There's not been any club-to-club contact, but would that be a good fit when you know what United are looking for in a midfielder?
I don't think so, actually. I really like him. He's great passer of the ball, sets the tempo of a game, can control a game, but actually has a minder at Stuttgart in Atakan Karatsor. He does all the dirty work, he does all the challenges, and Stiller can just get on with it and set the tempo.